Yo, what's going on, guys? Mike, Sen, whatever they want to call me, coming at you new video today, boys. Today, I want to talk about World of Warcraft, its current state, and just kind of like reminisce. Um, I wanted to do this video a while back, but I didn't know how to like come about it. And I think today would be a good day because I hadn't played all day, and I just had a really good day, and I think right now is the best time to talk about it. So, first things first, I'm not quitting YouTube, or I'm not quitting World of Warcraft, because you guys know I love pumping this content, guys. I love doing my rogue montage clips. I love doing the arenas, the 2v2s, 3v3s. I love all that shit. World of Warcraft will always and forever be my favorite game. But I've been seeing like a lot of people kind of like bitching and crying about the game and saying it's dying, and like PvP's dead, and Mythic Plus is dying. And obviously we are talking about a retail standpoint, but we're gonna get into Classic and everything here in just a second. So let me start by saying World of Warcraft's not dead, and it's always been dying. It never actually dies. The day it dies is probably the day I'm gonna be in a depression, because I truthfully love this game. But the reason it feels so bad is because there's three versions of the game. You got Cata Classic, you got Classic, which OnlyFans is going on right now too, so like that's really pulling from the retail community. And then obviously you have retail. If for whatever reason they were to shut down, the Classic servers, retail would boost up. I don't know how much, but obviously more people would be playing retail, right? So with that being said, if you're a retail player, the game's not dying. It is just super divided, and a lot of people love Classic and they love Cata. They're going to choose that over retail any day of the week, which there's nothing wrong with that, because I am a boomer. I've been playing this game since 2009. I think it was End of Wrath or whatever. So I played pretty much all Cata, all MOP. I played I played halfway into WoD, quit in Legion. I quit halfway into WoD, came back to Legion. But let me tell you something weird. Let's go back, okay? Back in the day, because currently right now, the only thing that most people care to do is Mythic Plus or Arena, right? You log on the game and you're trying to queue 2v2, 3v3. Well, not even that anymore. It's just solo shuffle and solo blitz, which is also kind of what killed the competitive arena side of things. But that's for a whole other topic. Say you log on this game, you pretty much just try to do Arena or Mythic Plus, and outside of that, you're probably doing nothing else, maybe farming logs, farming mounts, whatever you're doing, right? But what I was getting at is, with those Classic games, they're taking away from retail, and retail, it just feels different. And when I came back from the break from WoD to Legion felt so weird to me, because back in the day, back in the MOP days, the glory days, the Cata days, I was always out in Goldshire, man. 2, 3 in the morning, I had school the next day. I didn't give a fuck, dude. I wanted to go duel people. Like, I had friends and stuff. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. If you know, you know, right? You're out dueling. I played an arms warrior in MOP, so I had second win, right? And I was loving every single minute of the duels, man. I would duel hunters, mages, rogues, whatever. I was absolutely annihilating them. And regardless of what I was doing back then, it just felt like that aspect of the game, like it felt like more of an MMO. You know what I mean? It felt like I'm always playing with friends. We're going out, we're going to Timeless Isle, we're doing world PvP. Battlegrounds back then were actually fun. Like, I shit you not. Like, nowadays, super boring. Like, maybe not. I mean, I like BG still, because, like I said, I'm a boomer. But if you were to compare a Battleground now to, like, say back in Cata, MOP, or Wrath, dude, Battlegrounds back then were so much fun. And, like, yeah, you could say I have my rose-tinted goggles on, which probably I do, and probably a lot of us older WoW players do. But it's just, that's what the game was about back then, you know what I mean? And that also goes for Call of Duty too, because, listen, I'm going to say probably back in, like, early MOP, it was either you play like early MOP and back, like Cata, Wrath. No, this might have been Cata, Wrath, whatever. Either you played on this side Call of Duty or on this side World of Warcraft. There was no other game. Then League of Legends came out. It took a lot of people from WoW. But back to the Call of Duty thing, dude, I remember. So everybody was a big fan of Modern Warfare 2, best Call of Duty of all time, right? Intervention, quickscope, whatever, right? And I was with my buddy, my real life buddy, and his mom promised that she'll take us to GameStop after school that day because Modern Warfare 3 is, it just released. And of course, you had to wait in line, for like 2 or 3 hours to get the Modern Warfare 3 disc for the Xbox. But we did it, and dude, let me tell you what, that was like the best time ever. Just like getting my hands on the Call of Duty copy, putting it in the Xbox first time, getting Xbox 360 live game chat, and just owning it up, dude. Like, that was fucking badass. Like, I love that shit. But now when I try to play like Warzone or like the new CODs, like BO4, BO5, or whatever, BO6, whatever it is, like, it's boring. Like, I don't know, like, I'm not saying it didn't advance. Like, Call of Duty definitely advanced, and World of Warcraft definitely advanced. And it's only going to keep advancing because it has to keep up with competition. Like, you can't have the old school game still be current content because eventually that's going to get boring, right? So I can see why World of Warcraft is evolved, Call of Duty's evolved, but when we go back into that time frame of thinking like, why was it so much more fun back then? I think a lot of us were just really young, we were young. Maybe some of us didn't work. Like, I didn't work back in those days because I was middle school, high school, right? And I would come home and fucking play World of Warcraft all day, and I didn't give a shit, dude. Like, I loved that shit. Like, I had friends waiting to go do World PvP BGs, maybe arenas every once in a while. Like, I was locked in, they were locked in, we're all hyped up. We'd get in freaking Vent, if you guys know Ventrilo, or what was the other one, TeamSpeak. Obviously you had Skype, dude. That shit was it was just banging back then, dude. And I came back in Legion and everyone was like, you got Discord? I'm like, what the fuck is Discord? Like, obviously I know what Discord is now, but you know what I mean? Back then it was just like, damn, okay, I got down on Discord and figure out how to use it. But yeah, anyways, I think, and this is kind of like the topic I'm trying to get out of, is like, games will eventually feel different, obviously, like World of Warcraft and Call of Duty, but I don't think WoW is bad by any means. I think it's actually a fun, very fun game. It's great. The PvP's great. I mean, now hold on. I know a lot of people are going to come at me for saying that. It is advanced a lot. It really has. And in my opinion, it is fun. If you watch Van Rookie, he'll say, dude, it's still fun. And it is hard for a new player to get into the game because you got to know all the add-ons. You got to have all these macros. You got to have all the right gear. And then on top of that, there is no inflation in like 2v2 or 3v3. And there is some in solo shuffle, but they put you in like 1800 right away. So it's like, it's kind of tough, you know what I mean? Especially like, let's say you just started PvPing, you're playing Arms Warrior, and you're thrown into 1900 lobby. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? You might not do that great because you're versing people, at least, I'm going to say at least with duelist XP up, you know what I mean? And that shit's tough. It really is. Like, for sure. I totally get it, and I can see why it's unappealing for people to want to try to PvP. But, like I said, back in the day when you're playing MoP and stuff, you didn't have that. You'd queue up at 2v2 or 3v3, and it was magical because you'd start off at like 1400 MMR, and you would verse people that backpedaled, didn't know what they were doing, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're getting into the game, but that's the thing, though. Back then, World of Warcraft was only one game. Call of Duty was pretty much only one game. You know what I mean? Like, Call of Duty has Warzone and all that shit now. WoW has Classic WoW, Cata WoW, MoP Classics coming out soon, and then you got retail. So that is why everything just feels completely fucked right now, in short. I'm sorry for my language. That's just who I am. It's how I talk. So yeah, guys, I really just wanted to get on today and vent. Like I said, I miss, obviously, the excitement I used to have for the game, and don't get me wrong, I still love World of Warcraft, best game ever, and I'm not quitting. I miss feeling the excitement to want to log on and play the game. And I still get that every once in a while, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? But I do love putting content out. I do love answering you guys' questions. I do love logging on and just owning it up in the arena. And obviously, you know, if any of you guys want to queue, DJ send at Bleeding Hollow, send me some mail, hit me up on Discord, hit me up in game. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I want to queue with all of you guys. I got 3 rogues. So yeah. But guys, that's all I have today. Like I said, I just need to get that off my chest. The game's not dying, but I know, like for me, sometimes I do wear those rose-tinted goggles or whatever, and I look back and say, wow, the game was a lot more fun back then. Well, it was because I was younger. It was the first time experiencing things like that, and I had a lot more people to play with. You know what I mean? And I have a lot of people to play with now, but back then I had friends that I played with every single day, you know? And it wasn't just arena. Like, I didn't log on just to queue arena. It was to do duels, world PvP, battlegrounds. Then you obviously have the 3v3 and the 2v2 arena. And these guys are going to probably try to gank me, so I'm going to fly away real quick. Holy moly. But yeah. So, in short, guys, that's pretty much what I want to talk about. Game's not dying. It's just split up in so many ways. And yeah, until next time, we'll see you.